You're now listening to From the Jump.
Welcome to From the Jump, your source for all things hip-hop. I'm Syllable. This is my co-host,
Mr. White.
Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment below saying, I subscribed, and we'll try our best to reply to your comment. And today, we're going to be reviewing the newest song coming out called Slay by the rapper YEAT, and also featuring Lunchbox. Now, this has got really high energy, it's very fast-paced, as well as the fact that we can hear influences of The Future, Young Thug, probably Playboy Cardi as well. What do you think about this song?
This is definitely a vibey track. It has really great, kind of intense, digital distorted production, coming forward with this very braggadocio style, kind of living their best life in the music, and I really enjoy this style. It's unique, but it's not unlike what we've heard before, and I think it's just reminiscent of some of the artists that, you know, you would say kind of fell off because of the Soundcloud era.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? Because he has the auto-tune with the lows and then the highs.
Yeah.
But he has his own unique kind of album approach to this, where instead of just dropping single after single, right? So it's pretty interesting. And he blew up because of TikTok.
Okay.
Basically, he had these videos on TikTok that blew up with his sound, which is dope. Kind of a non-traditional platform, right? Because originally we have the SoundCloud era right of the mid-2010s. Ski Master Slump God, Lil Pump, Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert, and Playboy Cardi. And a lot of that high energy music was very mosh pit heavy at the shows.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be on a decline around 2018 because of the deaths of major artists like Lil Peep and Extension. But YEAT's considered to be one of the new waves.
Definitely, and I can hear it in his sound. You can see that he's taking this sound from an independent platform like a SoundCloud, like a TikTok, and moving it to an industry level. And that's very interesting to see when you have an independent artist build a following like that first. You know, a lot of people talk about industry plants and stuff like that. This guy seems to have done it all organically.
Yeah, he's got his own style. He's even making up his own words, like YEAT is a combination of heat as well as William Butler Yeats, a famous poet. I studied that poet when I was in high school, right? And so obviously he was just high as fuck when he made up the name, but it's interesting. Cole Bennett, who produced and pretty much blew the fuck up of Juice WRLD as well as Jack Harlow, he's standing behind YEAT as like the leader of this new wave coming up. And so, but instead of like a SoundCloud wave, we're seeing like these cats jump off on YouTube, on Spotify, right? We're having Discord, grouping communities. During the pandemic in 2020, everyone is stuck at home. What do? Right? They get on Discord, they start making friends. A lot easier than trying to DM each other on, you know, Instagram or whatever. They're actually creating these new communities, gaining followers. Like they already got the playbook for how to do this. Instead of just kind of doing it old school and banging their head against the walls or having a backpack of mixtapes.
Yeah, man.
Trying to pass it out. They got their social media shit on lock.
And it's so much easier to find a following amongst people that are like you, which is different than when you're going out hand to hand, you're going to shows, everybody's not there interested in trying to get your music, whereas building these communities is what has created the new media with people like DJ Academics. And they don't have to worry about whether they're getting an audience from traditional media. They can still have a brand that's major just from people that are online in the internet world, and that's something that's totally different. That's totally different for our day and age.
That's totally different. It's nice to see a refreshing sound. He's got a unique approach to how YEAT's doing it. He's got an interesting getup as well for like his whole outfit. Everything he's doing is fresh. It's one of those sounds. He's got to deal with Interscope Records. I know that he's like been in pictures I've seen with Drake, right? In particular, a clip of his song Get Busy that actually went viral online, and it attracted a lot of fan attention and a lot of media attention. And one of the reasons why was because he has that dope ass line, this song was already turned, but here's a bell. And then of course you hear the sound of some bells, which are in his songs a lot, you know. Lil Yachty as well as Drake have actually made reference to that. He's on the radar for these major artists. What's going to happen next is going to be interesting to see how this evolves.
Definitely. And he's one of those artists that I got into through other artists that I was listening to on playlists and things like that. You know, I was already into that type of music, and when he popped up, it fit right into that sound. And you can hear already that it's still not traditional. And for a lot of these artists right now that are doing a lot of drill and gangster rap music, he's not really doing that, which I think is cool. And I think that it's party music. He's talking about drugs here and there, but that's not his main focus.
No.
And so I can always appreciate an artist that's trying to go a different direction. And so, you know, much props to Yeat. I'm going to keep checking out his music and seeing what's going on for him.
Right, he was part of an online collective called Slay World, right? A lot of his music began to gain traction after his 4L mixtape, which was released last year on June 16th. And Slay World was founded in 2016. It was an underground collective with a lot of different rappers and producers. And, you know, the group works together and makes a music that's called pluggnb, which has been a lot of the buzz on the underground music scene for a lot of time now. And that's starting to gain, you know, some mainstream acceptance now. And while the different rappers now kind of rotate here and out for the roll call, a lot of the members have included Indo, Autumn, Summers, Can, and of course, Yeat. And pluggnb is like a production style that originated off Soundcloud back in that scene. And we're talking of probably like 2016, 2017. If you were part of that or followed that at all, you know that some of the like main producers from that era are like Polo Boy Shotty or Mexicodro, and they're kind of some of the first pioneers to make that sound popular. I mean, you also got like Diego Money, you got D Savage, and a lot of those beats, if you're listening to that era, is you're gonna hear that deep bass underneath the R&B sounds. You're gonna hear those heavy synths, and a lot of that shit is just, you know, real trippy ass music, but it's dope. So when he released his debut album 2 Alive back in February this year, he was doing a show at the Roxy, and it got shut down because it was so crowded. His fans were so turned up and lit that they had the police come through, news come through, and shut that bitch down. You know, it was very interesting to see the fact that he's created this following on his own without the assistance of like a major label to begin with.
Yeah.
He signed to Interscope now, but he created this following way before then.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's important for any artist who's trying to develop or build their music profile that they find this type of community to follow them, because otherwise it's going to be a lot more difficult. And so for him to have music like this and understand how powerful it is, you know, what he can do with it, that is basically the best thing you could do for your career early on, is kind of taking hold of your sound and just making music. He's making track after track after track after track, and before you know it, you know, he'll have this huge catalog of songs, and that's gonna keep your following behind you. I mean, this is dope. I think this is definitely somebody who's gonna be up and coming for a while.
Definitely. I think one of the reasons why Yeat has got real promise is because he isn't just a repackaged version of everything else. He does sound unique. He does sound different. And that's part of a marketing technique as well, called the unique selling mechanism. When you have something about your product or your service that distinguishes it from another service, and why someone will be attracted to that. Certain people are attracted to other artists for those reasons. There's a kind of metal artist called Buckethead, right? Yeah. And he always wore, like, I think it was a KFC bucket on his head the whole time he was performing, and it was a very cool underground thing. But that was part of what distinguished him.
I think he played with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, it's fascinating, right? How we can create these cult followings by that. What do you think about Yeat? What's your favorite song by him? What's your opinion? Do you think he's going to blow up? Are you one of his top fans? Like and subscribe and tune in for another episode of From the Jump.